Same tomorrow night, but they'll be up in Portland to play the Trailblazers. So 10 o'clock both nights. They'll be back here at home on Friday night, play the Pistons. And boy, if they lose to Detroit, oof. That's one of those in-season tournament games on Friday night. Is that the one you're going to? Friday night?
Friday night I'm going to be in Fremont, Ohio.
You're going to the Nuggets game.
Going to Nuggets game on Sunday. Yeah, BillSquire.com for those tickets.
And, so 10 o'clock tonight, Cavs 9:30 is when that pregame will begin. So still a handful of keywords for you until then to grab another $1,000. 6:30, I'll have the next one for you right when we roll out and get you into a bit of the Corey Roddick experience. And I think he's got a couple in there as well. But Cavs Kings tonight. Texas A&M football is paying their coach $75 million to not coach them anymore.
Insane.
What?
It is a record
How do I get that job?
Buyout. This is a guy who had a couple of great seasons, and so they signed him to a new deal a few years ago and then upped the deal. So he was set to make $95 million. They re-signed him in 2021, and he signed a fully guaranteed $95 million contract extension 2 seasons ago. And but the Aggies have not been doing well. You know, that's a powerhouse football program. That is not a college that's hurting for money. But Jimbo Fisher is the guy, and they fired him after the most recent game. And he has been there for 6 years. They re-signed him 2 years ago. And so they will pay him $75 million to leave.
Wow.
The associate head coach will serve as the interim coach. They initially signed him to a 10-year, $75 million agreement. He used to be at Florida State, and I guess he did pretty well there, and so they really, really courted him. They really wanted him at Texas A&M. And so they got him. And he's the first big coach this season getting let go because of performance. Everybody else is getting let go because, like, they talk dirty to what's his name at Michigan State?
Right.
Mel Tucker was that guy. But he's another guy that they recently re-signed. So when you're sitting there and, listen, you want to be a competitor, you want to be cranking out winning seasons, you want to contribute in a meaningful way to the school's program. But when you've got that guaranteed money, there's really no pressure. There's no pressure. You don't meet expectations. They go, Mel Tucker, they fire for cause. I think they're trying. That's a situation where Michigan State is trying to get out of what they pay him. Because they're like, look, you were talking dirty to some lady on the phone that you shouldn't have been talking to. They owe him like $80 million. Because they signed him to a 10-year deal. But they're trying to get out of that. They go, we fired you for cause. You can get out of it. I can't believe that every one of these sports contracts does not have a clause that any college can just get out of paying these guys.
I'm surprised.
No coach would sign that, I don't think.
Well, I was going to say, I'm surprised they're still doing such long-term contracts. Like, in an age of...
Firing, yeah.
Like, everything and anything you say can get you in trouble?
Well, I think it's a combination of, there's only a handful of really, really good coaches, and these schools all have tons of money. A school like Texas A&M does. A school like Michigan State does.
Right, but do you get what I'm saying?
A school that I'm paying for 2 students, by the way. That's my money that Mel Tucker's getting. Yeah, I do. I do get
I'm surprised that they're still offering that when, times are not like they were.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to get in trouble for now. And they're still offering $75 million guaranteed.
But football at these schools is still just, it prints money. But imagine that. You go, I don't know how old Jimbo Fisher is, but you could, you could just retire. Are you going to go to another school and go through all that? You go, anybody can have a bad season. But, it's these guys who sign these massive deals. Players do it too. You sign a deal. I mean, I wish I had a local example of a guy who got a ton of guaranteed money and then just didn't meet expectations. There isn't one that springs to mind, but again, I'm not Joe Sports. But if we had a local example like that, you could see that play out in real time. But imagine that. We've got to pay this guy $75 million to not coach for us.
We'll be better if you don't work here.
Yeah.
That's...
What up, gang? Listen to last week's show. Heard Gaylord was in the hospital. Don't know if you got an update on his condition.
We just got an update. He must not be listening live. We just got an update on Gaylord's. He just called in.
Mm-hmm.
He's alive. That's the update. Gaylord's alive.
His condition. Alan, you have a staunch track record of losing people. We had Rick. We had the drunk guy and somebody else. What's your celebrity death pool on Dick? When do you think he's gonna kick the bucket? Love me, love you, bye.
I don't have a celebrity caller death pool going.
But if you did...
I'll tell you what, I just played, the return from break with Political Joe. We haven't heard from that guy in a long time.
Right.
I hope Political Joe's doing okay.
You know who my actual celebrity... This is an easy one.
Matthew Perry. Bill, I need to see you after the show.
Well, Andy Dick. I don't think he's going to be around much longer.
We've been saying that for 10 years,
he
though.
keeps showing up in Cleveland. And anytime you're a celebrity and you just keep going back to Cleveland... Not to do work, but just to
You're
exist.
up to no good.
Or not being from here.
Yeah.
Like having family or something.
That's not a good sign.
And why has he been hanging around Cleveland?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just keep hearing that he'll show up at different bars in the area. And he was at a friend of mine's bar the other day. And isn't doing great.
Is he getting locally pinched for public intox or anything like that? Is he classic Andy Dick?
I mean, he's... drunk everywhere he goes.
Yeah. Well, that's sad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his son's probably grown now, so it's not like he's got to take care of his kid, but, he had to register as a sex offender last year, and it's a whole thing with Andy Dick. He can't control himself.
If he's hanging out in Cleveland, you should get him to fill in when I'm not here. He should be...
I don't need another dude in here.
It's Andy Dick, though.
He's still a dude.
Is he?
Yeah, he sure is.
I don't know about that.
Only time I've ever had Andy Dick on the show, it's when he was in his 6-month window of sobriety. So I was happy for him. Didn't get classic Andy Dick.
That's what I'm
though.
saying. Now you will. He's in Cleveland all the time anyway. Yeah. Offer him food or something. He'll come.
Offer him food.
I don't
know what he's in town for. I can only imagine. I think what I have to offer him is not what he's looking for. So.
Fame and fortune.
Drugs. He's like Vinny Barbarino. Give me drugs. Hey, Jake.
Hey, good evening. So I hear you talking about these coaches and their long-term contracts and buyouts, and some additional details on the Fisher firing at Texas A&M. So a couple things. Obviously, that in Texas, football is a religion, especially college football, and the SEC is super competitive. And the writing was on the wall for a while, apparently, and, the administration, but more importantly, the mega donors who are bankrolled by tons of oil money who, hold Texas A&M football sacred. They actually gave the university $100 million, and they unveiled the check at halftime of the Texas A&M
I saw that,
game.
$162 million.
Right, something like that. So that was like almost the biggest troll in the history of college football. It's like, hey, here's the money that we're donating to the university to make you go away, Jimbo. And it's just remarkable how much money is in Texas for college football, and that they're willing to pay him that much money than have him go away 4 years later because they're only 6-3.
Yeah, but even with all that money, they're not going to be able to kick out, crazy money for the next guy. Oh, okay, he's gone. All right, well, there you go.
It's a good point, though.
Yeah,
that was a good point.
You.
Yeah. You want somebody that's going to prove themselves. You got to keep them hungry.
That is true. Keep them hungry. You know who they haven't found yet is... They haven't found the... all right. They haven't found the Cincinnati defecator. This is a story from a while back. This girl who broke into a church in Cincinnati and took a big old beefy heater there on the altar.
Wait, what?
We talked about this at the time.
Yeah.
A girl named Laura Miniard, she's 27, looks like a functioning member of society. You know, we might be a little upset, but she doesn't look like the usual suspect you'd find in these kinds of cases. She was due in court today for a hearing, and she didn't show. So they have a warrant out for her. They're looking for her. She's 27, and she broke into a church and took a dump on the altar. She's got some things she's got to work out.
With Jesus.
Yeah. She's repeatedly violated the terms of her supervised release. It's great being white. In addition to removing her electronic monitoring device, she has traveled outside the state on multiple occasions. And her probation officer has said her whereabouts are unknown. Her bond has been revoked twice, but she has been allowed to remain free on her own recognizance. Again, great being white. She pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity, because I guess you figure, well,
You
that's
poop on
what
an altar. I feel like you can get away with that.
That's what's going to get me out of this.
Mm-hmm. It's not a very sane thing to do.
Yeah, but what constitutes being insane? Some people are just, it's not insanity, it's just profanity. It's being profane, right? It's desecrating an establishment that other people see as sacred. Not to her. You don't have to be crazy to do that.
Also, sometimes you just got to go.
Yeah, what if it was an emergency?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess she could argue that. She didn't argue that. She said that she was crazy.
Yeah, she didn't argue that it was an accident. It's like,
Right.
I purposely,
I had too much coffee, and then boom.
She took a dump on the altar, used if you're familiar at all with the altars, whatever your religious affiliation is, a lot of times they'll have a fabric runner. I think this was a Catholic church. This was Good Samaritan. This was technically a chapel in a hospital. So she's clearly ill something. So she took a dump on the altar and used the fabric runner to wipe herself. She also proceeded to smear feces on various surfaces in the chapel. She's from a Cincinnati suburb. She is, her mom's a nurse, and she is a casino gaming employee. That's all they know about her. She's registered with the Ohio's Casino Control Commission, or and works at a local casino. But she is, as of now, on the run. They don't know where, from runs to run. They don't know where she is. So they have a warrant out for her arrest. The
this gritty reboot of Girl Interrupted is not my thing.
No. So I will be playing.
She just went into the church,
the chapel in the hospital.
chapel in the hospital. Yeah. They weren't like doing anything in there.
What do you mean?
Like there wasn't like
during a service?
Was there a service happening?
No, it doesn't say that. I think if there's a service going, you're probably not going to be able to get up on top of the altar and take a dump. Somebody's going to say something about that.
Who's going to stop you?
Person giving the service. No, usually those hospital chapels are usually empty, right?
Yeah.
Is somebody praying for their mom to not die or something like that? But it's not.
You're doing like a last second wedding before somebody crosses over.
Hey, we haven't talked in a long time, but I'm here now, and see if we can work this out.
I always love that that trope in movies. And like, yeah, I know it's been a while, Lord, and you know if you believe in that, and the Lord's like, no, I hear everything. Yeah. And so it's maybe for you, it's been a while, but I'm up to date.
Yeah, but that's kind of reflective of real life, right? I mean, it's a trope in movies because there are people, lots of people in real life who have. No, what's the Jelly Roll song we're playing?
Only talk to God when I need a
When I need a favor.
Yeah.
I only talk to God when I need a favor. There's a lot of people like that. Now, if you are
who the hell am I? who the hell am I? Who the hell am I to expect?
You're Mary Santora.
To expect a savior.
Right.
If I only talk to God when I need a favor.
There you go. Couldn't have done it better himself. But
That's new artist, Mary Santora.
yeah, there you go. So they're looking for this girl down there. And by the way, Saturday night, we're back at the 2 Hour Metal Show. I will be playing the new Fecal Desecrator.
Oh, boy.
Oh, come on.
Is that
You're
by
yawning.
Jelly Roll?
Huh?
Is that by Jelly Roll?
No, the band is Fecal Desecrator.
I thought that was a song.
Nope.
Out of complete coincidence, I'm going to the Vagina Doctor tomorrow, and Brian's going to see a metal band called Dying Fetus.
Yeah.
Like, look at us tag teaming.
Yep. See, now who's manifesting what?
You know?
Yep. A Dying Fetus show is going to be pretty good.
Well, have fun if you're going. I am not.
I am not going, no. But they are, we got a brand new album out.
Yeah, he asked me to go, and I said, I
You
have
should go.
served my time.
Yep.
You take a friend, or you go by yourself. I'm done.
Yep. I mean, you're never going to believe this, but the band Dying Fetus has really, really dark music and imagery. Really dark imagery. They're from Maryland. Long time doing what they do.
This is
And
horrendous.
I'm sorry?
This is so bad.
It's so great.
One of-
Oh, it's so great.
A video I saw recently is 2 black security guards working at a metal show like this, and the lead singer's like, and we shoot blood from our penis,
Well, it's
but these are
Cannibal
different
Corpse.
words. Okay, but and they're looking at each other. They're like, "What?
This
Did
is
he
what we're
just
getting
say?"
paid to do. Yeah.
You should get checked out, man.
Yeah.
The new Dying Fetus record is called Make Them Beg for Death. And the cover is a blindfolded guy with a knife to his throat. So that's where their head is. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that in extreme metal. A lot of that, like, kind of bro vibe, you know? Everybody's got to beg for death. Everybody's, you know, but it is the soundtrack of the
Of what?
morally impoverished. It's
I don't know
great.
what it is.
It's great.
It's a lot
So
of...
he's going to hear them. He's going to hear them play Undulating Carnage.
I don't care.
He's going to hear them play Unbridled Fury.
Is everything start with un?
Those two do. He's going to hear them. What's some?
Unwelcomed love?
Please tell me they do a cover of Unchained Melody.
Unchained Melody?
They don't do that. They'll probably dig into the catalog. They'll play some Killing on Adrenaline, or Fornication Terrorist, or Kill Your Mother / Rape Your Dog.
See, this is what I mean. Why?
Well, it's kind of tongue in cheek too.
Is
I
it?
mean, of course.
Don't you get the nuance of it, Mary?
I don't.
I didn't say nuanced. I said tongue in cheek.
I
I don't
absolutely
think there's
don't.
anything nuanced about Kill Your Mother, Rape Your Dog.
You go see a bunch of
even
30
Alan doesn't get it.
Yeah, 35-year-old white bearded men kicking the air. Rape your dog. I don't need to see that.
But better that than doing it to somebody at home.
I guess.
These kinds of shows are meant to be a release for a certain kind of fan. I mean,
You
I
know,
can't
here's the
take
thing.
my own wife put in her time too.
Yeah,
She's
we're
like,
done.
I'm not, those places smell like afterbirth and
Ugh,
butthole. I'm
it's
not going to
terrible.
those with you anymore, and I don't ask her to.
Brian has been pent up. He's been a little on edge lately. So maybe he'll go get his kicks and punches out at this
Does
concert.
he get in the pit?
I don't know. He's skinny. If he breaks a bone,
he's
though, then
wiry,
he can't
though.
work.
Mm.
He is a little wiry. I don't know how fast he is. I feel like he's not that fast. I've never seen him do anything athletic, really, now that I'm thinking
I've
about
never
it.
seen,
Oh,
just have
wow.
sex with you.
Oh, I mean, other than that, but you don't have to like run or like, you know what I mean? He plays the drums. So his cardio's probably
You've
pretty
never
good.
seen your boyfriend run.
No,
You've seen me run.
I've raced you.
You never raced
Right.
Brian?
I've never raced Brian. I've seen
guys
him
have never
ride a
gone-
bike. I've seen him ride a bike. I've seen him play the drums.
I mean, riding a bike looks like somebody's slowly running in the air, kind of. I mean, you can't
I'm just saying I don't know how well he'd fare in a
running.
In a
no,
pit.
in a pit.
I see.
I think he's too old for that. I don't know that he does. He's 37. I don't think you're 37.
There's a
in
lot of
pit
older
anymore.
dudes
A lot
in
of
the
people
pit.
like getting in the pit.
Yeah.
That's what keeps them young.
Yeah,
Broken.
he's just fractured.
Alan, I hope that lady in Cincinnati doesn't work at the craps table. Yeah.
Well,
I get it.
happy it wasn't. I mean, if we're gonna do that, I'm